Well, hello everyone. Today's affirmation. Start where you are, use what you have, do what you can. I think that's pretty relevant for today. Start where you are, use what you have, do what you can. If you'd like to follow along with this picture, I am using orange and blue and purple. Doesn't matter which colors you have. It really doesn't. I'm just using 3 colors to work on this little spirograph that is in my book, Ivy's Peculiar Patterns. There'll be a link down below that you can follow along. This is what I colored the other day during my live that did not go well. I apologize about the quality there. I'm not sure what happened to my connection. But it is what it is, and we'll figure out what the connection problems are so that in the future here we can color along together, because I think that would be real nice. I would love to chat with all of you and see what you are doing and answer any questions that you might have. So the next thing I'm going to do here is I'm just going to add a little orange in these next little squares right here. And really, coloring is all about putting the colors on the page wherever you want them. If you remember, during the live, I showed that this was just the back and forth stroke, and these were little circle strokes. Those are 2 different strokes that you can do in colored pencils, and they're the main ones that you will use. Now you can go and do a cross hatch, which I think would be neat on these little diamonds right here. And all you're going to do is make lines really close together. You can overlap them if you want even. Real light, close lines, close together, just one after another. And then you go the opposite direction. And then if you decide you want some more, you go back the other way. The more rows you put on, the darker it will be. And if you want it darker in one area than the other, and now we've got a little bit of a darker area here, and a little bit lighter area right up there. I like that. How about you? What are you doing on this page? The 2 brands of pencils that I'm using are Color Ink Point and Zensations. I've also got some June Gold leads. June Gold leads. These are mechanical colored pencils. I like using them because I don't have to worry for my everyday coloring how much they cost. You can get them at the Dollar Tree. You can get them cheap on Amazon. I believe everybody who wants to color should be able to color. And if all you have is a number 2 pencil, that's okay too. You can make about 1,000,000 shades with a number 2 pencil. After all, gray is still a color. Everyday coloring is just sitting down and relaxing for a few minutes a day, whatever time you have available. Maybe you have a doctor's appointment that is taking forever to get in to see the doctor. This book is a great book to take with you. It's handheld size, you know. It fits right in your bag. It's real easy to do. Doesn't take up much space. Grab a few colored pencils, wrap a hair tie around them and throw them in your bag and you're good to go. One thing I like about the color point pencils, if you need a sharper point on them, there's a sharpener right here in the end of the pencil. And it even comes out to make it easy. All you do is, see that little right in there? All you do is stick it in there and turn it. That's it. That's all there is to it. And you'll get a nice sharp point. I like the fact that it comes apart. I like the fact that if I wanted to, I can hold it in this hand and sharpen with this one. Just because it's an orange sharpener doesn't mean you just have to use the orange pencil with it. Nice, huh? The Zensations I like because they have a triangle barrel. And these triangle barrels are much easier for me to use. I have hand issues. Well documented. I've talked about them a lot. And these help prevent fatigue. And they help me maintain a better grip. And I don't drop them as easy. And when I do drop them, they don't roll. Nice, huh? So let's do some more orange over here, huh? Kind of a nice effect, isn't it? This is a good book to practice in. It's a good book to take notes in. It doesn't have to be anything major every time you sit down to color. It doesn't. A few minutes here, a few minutes there, and you'll notice that your skills on your good pieces, or the pieces you want to put up on the wall, or the pieces you want to give as gifts, look much better when you take time to practice what you're doing. And here in this book, we don't worry about having to stay inside the lines. We don't worry about making everything look the same either. We get to the point of good enough, because the point is to practice so that on those good pieces we don't mess up. This helps improve your muscle memory of your hand, and trust me, I know all about that. Most of the time I can't feel my fingers. It's just a fact of life for me now. And so I had to learn how to coordinate my brain and my hand all over again. For those of you who don't know, I was in a very bad car accident almost 6 years ago now, on Christmas Eve morning, and a lady hit me from behind. I was pulling over because a funeral was passing, and here where I live, it is a requirement that you pull over. It's not just a nice thing to do, but whenever a funeral is going by, you're required to pull over. So I was doing my mandatory pullover, and she didn't see the funeral coming. She didn't see my car. And I was doing about 5 miles an hour, and she was doing about 60. The doctor said I was lucky I lived. But as a result, I have nerve damage in my hands, my arms, my back, my legs, my calves especially. And I had to learn to do things like hold a pencil all over again. So after years of working on that, I can finally color again. Now, I can't color for very long at one session. You're not going to see me sit down and color for hours and hours and hours. That's just not possible physically for me. My hands will start to shake when they start to tire. And eventually I will start dropping pencils and making mistakes. So I try to quit before I get to that point. That's the other good thing about this book, is you can just do a few minutes at a time. It's easy to pick back up again. What you saw at the beginning here was what I did the other day during the live. Sorry that the quality is not there again. We'll work on it. We'll get there. You know, a lot of these things are new to me. I've been spending the majority of my time the past 6 years in recovery and not focusing so much on what I'm doing for anybody else, but spend a lot of time focused on trying to make my life functional again. It's hard.